We are creeps. We are dynasty weirdos. What the hell are we doing here? You don't belong here. If you don't care about Dynasty at all, welcome to the Dynasty BS podcast with my guy. Um, oh my God, sorry, that was fun. That was fun. Anyways, welcome to the Dynasty BS podcast with my guy Brian. I'm Smitty, and we are here later going to talk about Radiohead. So just letting you know. And we're also going to do a mock draft, which is exciting to me because it's a little too early, but it's not too early for the knowledge. So, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Smitty, that was great. You forgot my name, but the reality is you did not forget our podcast name. So, any new listeners, anyone who's ever watched the show, I always do the intro. Smitty tried to do it once before and forgot the name of our show, and now he forgot my name. So, I liked it. The voice was great. The voice was, yeah, that was great. I like the singing. You know, we always talk about karaoke on this show. So, man, I'm doing good. We kind of had a 2 week break though here, man. We just had some crap come up. I got sick. Well, it's just a bunch of crap. But
Oh
what
man.
have you been up to the last 2 weeks since all these millions of listeners haven't seen it, heard from us for a little bit?
Man, I can't believe. I'm sorry. I just have to go back to it. I always forget something, and it's killing me every time I forget something. But I don't know. One day I'm gonna get it. One day I'm gonna figure it out. But dude, I just miss talking football with you. If I'm being honest, this is such a
Right?
fun thing for me. So like, we are back, baby.
Yeah, when they say, Karma Police arrest this man because he talks in math, we talking Fantasy Dynasty, baby. So let's go. We won't arrest you for forgetting my name, though.
Thank
But
you.
it's good. So, y'all, welcome in. For the listeners that, know the podcast pretty good, for any new listeners, I'm going to drop this in a new league. I started a new Best Ball Dynasty startup, so there's going to be some new listeners.
Oh,
So, for all you new listeners, I'm Brian. You can call me B. You can call me whatever you want, but you're going to call me fucking Tom York for this episode.
woo!
So, anyhow, I'm Barms 2020. This is my boy Smitty. We take care of it. We're here to kick you with a little bit of wisdom. The one thing we say on this podcast, Smitty, I always say it, we're your regular Joes, just talking some football, music, dynasty, movies. We're not your experts, but hopefully you like what we do because we have a different style of playing. So, hey, listener league. We've been hyping our listener league we're doing. So I've been sending out some invites here and there. We're selecting it. We got the 11th spot today. Tyler
Woo!
KC. Welcome to the Listener League, baby.
Welcome,
Smitty, I
man.
didn't text you this, but I gotta tell you this. So I wake up this morning, and last night I was thinking I gotta send an invite out to the 11th. Who am I gonna pick? Who am I gonna pick? And I see this sleeper, hey, looking to move the 101 or Herbert, looking to rebuild here and there. This dude had a trade done before I could even send a damn offer. And I'm like, you know what? This guy is going to get a listener spot. So
Hey.
we look forward to it. Smitty, tell Tyler a little bit about yourself because he doesn't know you.
Man, I am very obsessed with the Tradeaholics, so for him to even say that is exciting to me. Um, Personally, I love a good rebuild, but I'm trying to win most of the time. So good luck beating me in the playoffs, my guy.
Yeah. Tyler, that's what you're going to love about all this. I'm telling you, man. Smitty and I, we play much, much different, but we're kind of building a census of how we're playing these days, and he's teaching me, I'm teaching him. So it's pretty good, man. So welcome in. So let's spend some time. So again, we got the mock draft start up today. We got a few things we're talking about, but I want to start. Free agency is about to kick off. We got combine going. Free agency is going to kick off, and then once free agency hits, we see some landing spots. Now these mock drafts are going to change quite a bit for what teams are doing in free agency. But let's talk a little bit about a wish list. There's always players that we have somewhere on our roster. If we're not agnostic to players that we really want to go somewhere else. But Smitty, who you got for a free agency wish list for a couple players? We'll go over like three or four.
Three or four, okay. Just because I just received the notification, I do, honest to God, want Michael Pittman to stay in Indianapolis. I want him to help uh, Anthony Richardson develop as a passer because we all know when that boy starts running, it is gold. But if he can run and pass if he can pass, honestly, if he can pass just as good as Gardner Minshew, then I mean, my idea of Anthony Richardson skyrockets. So I think Michael Pittman is a very key piece for that offense in the passing game. So I kind of want him to stay put, personally.
Number three on my list is Pittman stays in Indianapolis. I love
Oh,
it.
let's go.
It's I'm selfish for a lot of reasons in this one, Smitty, is somehow I have a very large share of AR-15, but who I've been stacking him with is Josh Downs. And for that to be
Oh, okay.
successful, I need Michael Pittman on the field. I don't need Josh Downs to try to be a wide receiver one. So I
Yeah.
do. I want Michael Pittman to stay in Indy really bad, man. I think it's a good fit. I really think it's a good fit. Big bodied receiver for a quarterback that needs to probably work on his accuracy and build a little bit. You want to know what my number one is?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so we're all talking Mox. We're all talking Caleb Williams going to the
Hmm.
Bears number one, and they're trading out for trading Justin Fields. And Atlanta seems like a good landing spot for Justin Fields, but we're not talking trades. What I'm talking about is free agency. Kirk Cousins is a free agent. I want him in Atlanta. I want him in Atlanta. I want him there because that boy is like Stafford. He will feed his dogs. And for all of us that's had Atlanta shares out there, I am telling you, we deserve this. We've been through the pain of Arthur, I'll start cussing here, but Kirk Cousins, go to Atlanta and just feed Drake London and Kyle Pitts, baby. So that's my wish list. Who you got for number two?
Hold on. So sorry about that. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yep.
me, by the way? Okay, great. Number two, um, I've been thinking about these running backs a lot, and frankly, this is such a personal pick for me because of where I drafted him in the league, but I want Tony Pollard to try again. I want him to try again in Dallas. I feel like he wasn't entirely ready for the big dog role. And I think now that he understands what needs to be done, he's going around saying, hey, the difference between being a backup and being a lead dog is completely different. And now that he understands that, and now that I assume, is putting his body through the proper regimen for being a lead dog, I kind of want to see him try that again. I don't know if it'll be worse or better. I just want him to give it a second shot in Dallas. So I want Tony Pollard to stay placed
I have
as the
some,
number one, though.
I have some thoughts on that we're going to get into later in this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, the world really hates Tony Pollard right now, and I just think that Dallas set him up for failure to be the one. He is a
Mm.
perfect dude getting 50% of the workload and use him a little bit. But I want him to go to the Chargers.
Ooh, we're gonna disagree. We're gonna
I
disagree.
know. I know. That's why it's a wish list. I want him to go to the Chargers. I think it's a good fit. I think they can find someone else there, have a 1-2 punch, and let Tony Pollard just get. If Tony Pollard gets 12 touches a game and they're good touches, like he did
Hmm.
2 years ago, solid. But I like
Mm.
Dallas. If Dallas gets another back, which I. All right, I'm gonna change this. Oh man, this is great. I had King Henry wish list somewhere else, but I'm gonna take your Pollard, and I want King Henry to go to Dallas now because that's the 1-2 punch that I want to see.
Oh my God.
That works
I
for
mean,
both of our wish lists, I think.
it really does. And like, if I can just be flat out honest, Derrick Henry in Dallas is a phenomenal pick. I mean, I think just instantly the day of signing, I'm putting him in the second round at the worst, at the lowest, because that team, when they can't rely on the pass, that run game will be so efficient because he's playing for a contending team, which he doesn't even know what that's like, if I'm being honest. Sorry, Tennessee fans. He has no clue. Derrick Henry has no clue what it's like to play on for a contending team. And I mean, well, they were in the playoffs, but whatever. Doesn't matter. This team has historic accolade, and he's going to be above who he's ever been. I honestly do think that's going to be a career year for him if that happens. So, yeah, you know what? Honestly, F Tony Pollard at that point. I'm way more on the Henry side. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're together, that's a
Hmm.
good combo. And I'm telling you, so Derrick Henry, I am going to talk about later as well. But just imagine this. Imagine if Derrick Henry gets 40 touches this year, and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
40 touches are just in the red zone.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
happy, dude.
Yep. 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 That's dominant.
So
That's
I want
dominant.
to hit you with another one here because Mike Evans is out there, and I don't see him back in Tampa Bay, but you know what? That's why I'm not paid to run teams. But Would he just be a really good fit for Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, wow. I am overexposed to Mike Evans, and you just made me so happy. I mean, dude, the off season is the best because we can play these games and it will actually feel real till it isn't. Like, dude, I'm sitting here. I was actually my next pick was gonna say, hey, he should stay in Tampa just to keep that production going, but just because I'm literally overexposed with Mike Evans shares. But whoa, if he goes to Kansas City, that man gets another ring. I mean, it's no question about it. It's no question. I'm gonna talk about Patrick Mahomes later in this mock draft, but yeah, that is the type of signing I want to hear. That's let's have it. Let's get that
It's
done.
going to go through the roof. Or Buffalo would be another one. Gabe Davis gets out. Buffalo gets Mike Evans. Let's go, Josh Allen. Let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Who you
Jesus.
got for? Let's go over a couple more. Who you got for me?
You know what? So when I think of free agency, I think about the running backs the most, but I'm gonna look at Calvin Ridley real quick. He definitely should. You know, I've been saying, hey, these players should stay. No, not Calvin. Calvin should be A2 somewhere. I'm just trying to figure out where would he be a great two. He should be. Ah, man. You know what? Let's start here. So I want Calvin Ridley to be a two because I think he'll be a damn good two as a vet to a young one. I think Kansas City is interesting. I think, like you said, Buffalo is interesting, but there might be a better place. And I'm kind of feeling, I'm kind of feeling Ravens, man. You know, you got to upgrade. I love OBJ. He did a lot for the Rams. I feel like he is kind of a significant upgrade in that department. So I kind of want him in the Ravens. How do you feel about that?
I'm in on that. Actually, across all 25 of my teams, I have no exposure to Calvin Ridley. Um,
Yeah, me neither.
I have none, so I don't really have any skin in the game. But I kind of like that if I'm a Lamar guy, but I don't know if that makes me
Yes.
buy Calvin Ridley. You
Okay,
know,
you're right. You're right. That won't necessarily make me buy him
I
in a fantasy standpoint, but I just want an OBJ upgrade in that offense, if I'm being honest. And I hate to say that because I love OBJ. I have his Rams jersey. Like I want the best for him, but he wasn't enough.
Did you see that BS? I forget. I think it was Harbaugh was talking that Rashad Bateman's going to get the ball so much more this year. I'm like, you know what? Your ass is about to trade him or cut him
Yeah,
because that's
right.
coach talk to. We need to get a bigger price and just get an asset. They're liquidity
Amen.
talking, aren't they, Smitty?
Oh, 100%.
Oh
100%.
man! All right, so let me pull back up my notes here. So, um, here's my other couple that I really want to happen. I'm going to talk about a running back, okay?
Uh-oh.
And this I want to happen so bad because I believe the man deserves to be on a team that's going to respect him, use
Mm-hmm.
him, and go
Mm-hmm.
get a ring possibly. I want to see Saquon Barkley go to the Ravens, bro. I think that would be such a fantastic fit for how they're built right now. And everyone's talking King Henry there and all that. Go get Saquon. He fits the system. If you think J.K. Dobbins fit the system, and he couldn't stay healthy, but man, you can still have a top 6, 5 back for at least one more year in that offense because Lamar will take some pressure off of him too. So, what do you think about that one?
I'm all for it because I have grown to really love Saquon Barkley. Like that man really he gives his all to a team. I mean, and that's crazy to say because obviously every player gives their all, but I've never seen it in the way that he's done it. I've really never seen him talk so positively about such a toxic relationship. I mean, think if we can get him in the Ravens, if we can get him in Baltimore, oh my God, he's going to give so much to that city. He's going to give so much to that team. I I'm losing it. Like, cause I love Keenan Mitchell. I love Keenan Mitchell so much, and I think we all should have a share of Keenan Mitchell in at least one league. But this guy is exactly where I want Keenan Mitchell to be, and so I'm completely all for it. I think that was a fantastic idea.
I will be using some liquidity to go get Barkley, and I'll be quite happy to pay up for him if he ends up there, even for one year. You actually
Mm.
might see a late first or something come out for a running back from me, and you know my ass is not paying a first round for an RB.
I
So
know.
you
What
got
a
you got one more for us? You want to kind of move on here?
I'm all right. I think that Saquon pick was better than anything I could have thought of. That was great.
All right. So I want to take a second then, and I want to see what your reaction is because we're going to talk some liquidity right now, all right? And we're going to talk about building rosters in February and March and how you don't have to start literally do a lineup until September. So I joined a best ball, and
Uh-oh.
this is I didn't tell you what the format was because I really wanted to see what your reaction. You're gonna roll your eyes at me, bro. This is a
Uh-oh.
start 12 super flex, okay? Tiered
Start
PPR
12?
with start 12. Yeah, super flex. That's why I joined it. I wanted a deep league.
Okay.
I wanted a best ball league because I wanted to really go build a roster differently. And
Hmm.
I will tell you going in this draft, in a start 12, best ball, you don't need to go get two quarterbacks in the first two rounds. Quite honestly, it diminishes the value of a quarterback being a start 12 or start 10.
Hmm.
So I don't have a quarterback yet. I'm going to share my screen right now. I want you to see this.
What
So give me
round
just a
are
second.
you in? Okay, yeah. Let's hear this. Let's hear this.
The league sent me in the chat saying thanks for the donations the first 2 years, and I said
Oh, oh, that's rude. Okay, let's take a look.
no, it's fine. This is a great league. We are getting at it. So I will tell you, in the first round, we had more trades done through pick 8 than actual picks.
Bro, are you in the 103?
So I had the 103, and I will tell you, I didn't get quite the value I wanted for some trades. And actually, who I traded the 103 and a couple other picks actually traded it right after me and actually got a little bit more value.
Oh,
But I
that's
didn't have a
smart.
lot of time, so I was working. I got value I wanted. Hit the trade. Smitty, I'm going to break down what my team is here. Where do I go? Sorry, I'm screen sharing for the first time here. And
Which is
this is,
so cool, by the way. I can't believe you figured this out. This is sick. All right,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about this feature.
I
All right.
am not used to Sleeper sucks on a computer. All right. I'm just going to break this one down. Okay. So as you look at the board, you're going to see my name kind of everywhere.
Mhm.
We are now at the 411, and I've made one pick.
Oh my
And that
God.
pick that I have made is the 104 in the rookie draft. I have yet to actually add a name on my team through 4 rounds. Now, I have traded all over the place, but what I've done is I've gotten 2 for 1s, 3 for 1s, future picks, because in a start 12 best ball, fucking anything can happen, dude. People think they know and get these studs, but man, you should see the lineups that actually won leagues last year in the final. So I don't even have it. I picked up all in on 5 first rounds that I didn't have going into this draft, 2 extra seconds, a third. And what I would like to say to people is right now it's February, March. I have a philosophy of how I play. And the reality is, I would rather buy players when I know their situation and when I need them than call my shot on a player in February and March. And
Okay.
as you listen to this podcast, everybody, you're going to continue to hear me talk about what liquidity can do for you
All
because
right.
shit goes wrong. You need to buy players midway through the season. Sometimes you get off to a hotter start than you thought, tear up, go buy players. Sometimes it doesn't work. Get the liquidity, go for next year. But would you ever do a draft that you really haven't even made a pick through 4 rounds?
Oh, that sounds so uncomfortable, man. That sounds so uncomfortable. But I mean, how many firsts you got for 2025?
I picked up 5 first rounds all in, one being a 26.
Wow. Wow.
No, no, I'm sorry, four. Four. I picked up three for 2025 and one for 2026, and then I got the 104 in this year's rookie draft.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even imagine having that many firsts. I really don't even know what that's like. I mean, honestly, I would be very uncomfortable drafting this type of team, but having that liquidity has got to do something for you I can't even imagine. That's like alien sex, honestly. What is that?
I knew your head would explode, but here's the reason, and I'm going to drop this, tomorrow into that league. But here's the reason: I got the 104 now. I think the tier break in this draft is going to be at least the 106, probably the 107. But now I got flexibility to build my team how I want. I can wait till the players I want fall to me, and I can add and go build later with that pick
Mm-hmm.
or my other picks to
Mm-hmm.
build out my roster, and I have all off season to do that. And I like where I'm sitting. And by the way, I
Mm-hmm.
have made sure I have every number, like the same amount of picks for the entire draft. I haven't given that up. So I've just condensed it, but I'm condensing it through the fifth and the 10th right now. So I'm not missing
Okay.
players, and I'm going to get my and that's when I'm getting the 2-for-1s with those first rounds, those second rounds. I have made sure that I have not given up a pick in this startup draft yet. I'm sorry, I gave up the 28th pick for a third rounder, which I will do all day long.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you have, if you pretty much have the same amount of players in future, not necessarily future, in startup capital, you're gonna be. I think you're gonna be fine. It's just personally, I'm. That sounds very uncomfortable to me, but I mean, you're gonna have a ball in the fifth and the tenth. I mean, there's a lot of win now players in that area. If I'm being honest, like you could still do some damage, and then plus with the liquidity. Oh my God, this is like yeah, you playing in a different stratosphere, man. This is nuts.
Hey, you know what? I got a philosophy. I'm going for it. And you know what? It is what it is. We'll see where it's at. But yeah, I don't have a quarterback. So, and you know what? This is where a lot of the backup quarterbacks come into play because when
Yeah.
you look at
Well.
backup quarterbacks in a start 12, man, you get two or three starts, someone goes out, boom, slam them in there. And you know what? I like going zero QBs in a start 12 best ball. If this was a true set your lineup dynasty, there is no way I'd be where I'm at right now. There is not a chance in hell I would be where I'm at right now. But best ball, man, players can just go off some weeks that you don't know. Like the Tyler Boyd's when you got him on his bench when he scores
Mm,
2 touchdowns, and
hmm.
those BS players you get later. So
The
anyway,
MVS
guys,
is the Nicole Hardmans, the Gabe Davises. Dude, hey, that's best ball strategy right there, ladies and gentlemen.
so anyway, to that league, cheers. Now you kind of know my thoughts in there. Trust me, I'm a hardcore player and I'm never leaving leagues. So cheers. We'll catch you in there. All right, let me get the screen share off and then let's get down to having some fun here.
Okay.
Boom. All right, we're back full screen here. So let's talk some roster cloggers out there. You know, we don't need to talk about too many, but we could just say players like this. And when do you know you have a roster clogger? And how do you get them off of your team? That's a big thing that I think I want people to learn. And I'm still learning that as well. But if you think about roster cloggers, so some that I have in my head right now, Hollywood Brown is a roster clogger. Gabe Davis is a roster clogger. Tyler Boyd is a roster clogger. Um, Players like that, you know, that I'm looking at, that they're just roster cloggers because when they go off, they're on your bench. They don't give you a lot of value, and then you don't trade them sometimes when you need to. So, what are you doing with roster cloggers, and who are some you have in mind, and how do you know when it's a true roster clogger? And you know, I'm going to start talking Trinity, War. You know, you've got to just look at what
Ooh.
dead zones are, the flat lines. I mean, there's sometimes you just got to get a stud on your team.
All right. Well, here's a guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our redraft podcast. Um, Demarcus Robinson, the free agent from that the Rams picked up in 2023. We re-signed him again for another 1 year deal in 2024. That should low key excite a lot of people, but honestly, if you have that guy on your roster, just kind of flash around. I mean, just see what you can get for him. I mean, I'd be happy to get a third for him. I'd be happy to get a low second. I'd be happy to get just another player, even just because of what he did last year. Now, and I hate to say this because he really impressed towards the end of the season, and he may have even won you a league. I mean, he won me one, and he was like the flex player in my league. So I think what you could do is you can say, hey guys, he was very productive in his offense. Tutu Atwell is not just on his level, so would you be interested? I mean, it's tough to sell a vet like him, but I think you should be in the mindset of trying to get him off your roster. And you know, if you have to drop him, don't be scared. Just drop the dude. Someone's gonna pick him up. Someone's gonna think about how he finished off 2023, and then that'll be someone else's problem. But I do think he is a quietly, I think he's quietly a roster clogger, and I hate to admit that because I'm so personally happy that the Rams signed him back, but his production was not easy to count on. It's not reliable. Maybe in a best ball setting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I totally. There's a different type of roster clogger in a best ball because it's really hard to be a roster clogger. I mean, you get two spike weeks from, some nobody on your bench and they hit your lineup and you win. That's different. But for me, so I got some work to do on a lot of things. So I'm picking up a league that I'm looking at right now, and I've got some work to do because I got some roster cloggers on here. So let's talk Curtis Samuel or Tyler Boyd on this squad. I've got John Mechie. I've got Gabe Davis. I got Joshua Kelly. I got a bunch of roster cloggers in this one. This is a interesting league I'm in. This was our first dynasty. This is the gang, baby.
Hey,
But I'm trying to get trades done where I'm using them as just throwing pieces, like a name like Gabe Davis. Somebody will look at Gabe Davis come across that doesn't look at Trinity, doesn't look at war charts, doesn't look at these things and show you what the value of them are, and they'll say, okay, Gabe Davis had 3 or 4 really good games last year, where he scored maybe how many touchdowns? Maybe a couple touchdowns here, one there. Someone will be like, okay, I can use that. Go ahead, keep him on your bench when he has a spike weeks, and you'll see why you use him as a throwing piece. Third rounders, go get a third rounder because you never know when you need that third rounder to sweeten a deal to get something done. And a good example would be, let's say we're right before the trade deadline. We got a team that needs a running back. I will always need some running backs, especially if I'm making a playoff push. And I got someone that's rebuilding with a really old vet on their team, like let's say Derrick Henry. Let's say Joe Mixon. We're going to talk a little bit about them a little bit, but that's where I'm saying, you know what? Here's a third. Let me get this and give you some liquidity so you can help rebuild yourself right now. Here's a third. Maybe I'll throw in 2/3. Get that vet on my team, but sweeten the deal. Then throw Gabe Davis. I mean, whatever I need to do. But I'm trying to get thirds for those. I don't care. I'm not going to hold on to get a second. And if anyone's listening, if you do hold on to players like this and they have spike weeks, they get hyped up. Trade them. Trade them immediately. Get them gone. Because if you're stubborn and you don't, and no one's going to give you the value that you want, guess what? You missed your window. Sometimes you have to take less than you think a player's worth to be able to build and have liquidity through the future. So that's what I do with roster cloggers. And I watch a lot of podcasts, Smitty. I watch a lot. But I will tell you, if you get into the Destination Davy or Debbie Discord channel, sign up for it. They have to get into their Trinity on viewing that. I don't have enough time to talk about that, but the war charts, everything, fantastic to know what players matter and what really don't that other people think do. So, you on that Discord, by the way? I know
no,
you're a
but
Ray GQ guy.
I'm a Ray GQ fan. I'm even a what's the morning show they have every week. I love that show. It's just and you know what? I love that you mentioned the Trinity because it has helped me identify players during the redraft season last year. So, very useful tool for sure.
The cool thing about the world we live in, there is everybody that will do all the analytics for you. Just trust the process and go find the analytics. Go look
Hey,
for it.
that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. All right, you want to give everyone a would you rather here, my man?
Oh
This was
man.
yours.
All right. So, would you rather? Let me get it real quick. Would you rather be able to pause time, like if you had like a remote, like the movie Click, Adam Sandler? If you were able to, would you rather pause time, right? Just pause these certain moments, or be able to speed up or slow down time? So the option is either just pause certain moments or speed through some moments, like let's get this out the way, or slow down moments because it's so dope. What would you rather do? Pause or speed
Okay.
up, slow down?
I want to make sure. So I can choose to either pause or I
Hmm.
have the ability to slow and speed up time, right? I get both of those.
You get both, yeah.
Okay, I'm choosing
But
both.
it'll never stop. But time will never stop. It'll keep going whether backwards or forwards.
Okay, and it never goes at normal. It's either going too fast or too slow, right?
Oh, I like that. That is great caveat. Yep, 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 yep. Love that.
Oh, um, okay. I got to think about this. I didn't know we were gonna do it like that. So
That
I
was
think the
great.
ability to pause time's awesome. Like I would love to do that and literally like my wife wants me to do something, or somebody wants me to do something that I don't want to do, just hit pause, go hang out in the backyard for like 5 hours, get stoned, do whatever, come back in, and then get it done. They're like, hey, babe, thanks for jumping right on that. That sounds great. But I actually think I need to slow down and speed up time a little bit. And everyone who watches this podcast knows I'm ADHD as it gets. I'm energetic. I would love to speed through time, and I could get things like, I don't know, all 25 of my dynasties, like literally trades go out. Like, it'd be fun. Oh, but I could do that when time
25.
pauses too.
Uh,
Oh
I'll
shit,
say
never
this.
mind.
I'll say this. The thing with pausing time is that it's paused for everyone else as well. So it's like a literal standstill. Like you are inside of the second that's going down.
So, so this is like the movie Click almost with Adam
Yeah,
Sandler.
yeah, yeah,
We're living that.
yeah. That was
Oh,
kind of what I had in mind. I love
oh, I
that
want
movie.
to
I'm sorry.
pause time and I want to be the only one moving. Oh, I want that
Yes.
so bad, Smitty. I would do some ridiculous crap with that. Dude, I could go travel the entire world for like 3 years and come back and no one knows I did anything. Ah, it would be awesome. Imagine
Yeah.
going to cruise the pyramids. Oh, that'd be great.
I mean that's a great point, but but you can't really ever like see a play overseas, with these fantastic British actors. You won't be able to watch it. It's just all one frame, 1 second. You're stuck in that second, and I don't know that.
Can we get a phone
Wow,
a friend where we can phone a friend and one other person can move?
how sick would that be? Oh my God, dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
that would be sick. That'd be sick. But if I did choose to like slow down time, I would totally slow down the fantasy football season, dude. Like the actual NFL season, I want to try to stretch out and make that last forever.
Dude, I would. You know what week in particular I would slow down? I would slow down week 15 to a damn near halt because I need to make sure that my lineup is smoking great. If I'm in the playoffs, week 15, I need to make sure I do not have Bijan Robinson giving me negative 10 points because you know for a fact I put that man in my RB1 slot. If I would have thought about it and be like, okay, Arthur Smith is kind of psychotic, we can find another replacement. He will give us at least 3 points, and that'll be better. I mean, oh yeah, if I want to slow down any week in the fantasy week, it has to be week 15 or week 17 if I made it to the dance.
So let me ask you this. Let's do another would you rather. If you had
Okay.
to choose, would you rather have a time machine? You can only have one option to go back in time or in the future, but you can't come back either way. What would you choose?
Oh, see, that's great because, oh man, that's so great because when you lose a week, you know exactly the moment that you lost it. You said, "Oh, I knew I should have played this bench player instead of the guy I started," and I have so many of those moments. So I do like the appeal of that, but I also don't want to go through the pain and agony of getting to the playoffs if you're not like that obvious dominant top three team. Like, so that's tough. That's tough. You know what? I'm gonna say fast forward because no, I don't. I will say rewind. Rewind back to reverse a mistake. I think that's what I would do the most. I'm most interested in that.
I'm going back. I want to go live my
Yeah.
20s again, man.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here thinking about, oh man, I want to redo these. Yeah, me too, to be
or
honest.
or I'd like to go back in time and start my first dynasty draft over again and literally know what I know now after all these years opposed to I made so many mistakes. I'm still digging a hole out of this league, man. It's nuts. All
Me
right,
too.
so
Me
people
too.
here, they came for two reasons. One, they want to have us do a startup mock draft with our thoughts, what we're doing, what we're trying to do, what our thoughts are per pick, and they also came for some Radiohead. So this is going to take
Hey.
a little bit for us to do this mock. So let me get let's share this screen here, and let's do this. This is going to be fun.
Oh man, a mock draft, y'all. This is what we would do, and this is what we would think is the most ideal situation for us in a dynasty startup, particularly in this off season, 2024 off season. So, I have the 101, correct?
You do. Let me give you just
Yes, this is great. Now I can slobber all over this guy. Are you ready, y'all? Are you ready for the slobbering?
All right, I got everything up here. So, Smitty, I didn't know how to put us in every other pick, but you're gonna
We'll
have,
figure it out. We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
we're going every other one. You got the first one, but what I'm gonna do is when you select a player on the ones that don't have the team assigned to it,
Hmm.
I am going to go in there and select the player so we can keep this nice and organized.
Okay, cool. Wow, nice, nice.
All
So,
right, so you got the 101, Smitty. This is what you love to do. You told me 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago about having your anchor positional players.
the
I watched
cornerstone
you
of
do a derby.
all cornerstones.
The last startup we did, I watched you do a derby draft and you chose the 101. And my head was like, it's a third round reversal, dude. So, by the way, I want to set the settings here, okay?
Oh, yes, yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so we are going to start. Actually, I think we're going to go start 11. We're going to
Okay.
do start 11, super flex, one tight end, and let's keep this at tight end 1.5 premium, PPR for everyone involved. Your traditional two RBs, three wide receivers, one tight end, three flex, one super flex, start 11. Let's let it rip.
Okay,
Start 11 is more challenging.
real quick, how many points per passing touchdowns? Either
Uh,
way is fine. Either way is fine. I'm just curious.
you know what? How many? I don't.
Eh,
Let's do six. Let's just do
let's do
six. I
six.
see that being
I'll
more
say
standard
this.
these days.
Okay, I'll be honest. I think four is more standard. Or at least it's the most, what I've been used to. But six, oh, I love six, man. I gotta be honest. I love being a quarterback that'll shoot it. So, all right, 101, ladies and gentlemen. If you have the 101, please don't think twice. Just draft Josh Allen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what. I'm really trying to think of the type of offer where I would just say, fine, here you go. I mean, it's got to be a boatload. And it's honestly got to be unreasonable because Josh Allen, he is the fantasy quarterback one, period. And that's because he runs a lot. He rushes a lot. He is the guy you think of when the word hero ball is spoken because he will put the team on his back if need be. So he'll rush it, he'll pass it, and he's damn good at both. He'll he'll leap over you. He'll leap over a linebacker. He'll he'll rush right up the gut. I mean, this guy literally, he's a fantasy god in my opinion. Josh Allen, think nothing of it. Just get him 101. And if you are really thinking about getting anyone else, if you're thinking about trading out, the price has to be absurd.
Yeah, so it is undebatable, I think, debatable in fantasy football that Josh Allen's the 101 for a quarterback, 100%. Even when we thought he wasn't doing well last year and didn't look like he was going to finish one, he finishes one. I mean, that is your cornerstone. But I'm gonna throw some ideas out here because let's say on the 101 right now, okay, start
Hmm.
11. So
Hmm.
quarterbacks don't matter as much, but they still matter a lot. So
Hmm.
when I look at that, what would you be looking for in a trade to get off of this 101? What are you
To
when you
be
have the 101? What are you sending out to people, not waiting for them to come into you?
okay, well, I'm gonna need at the very least still a pick in the top five. I'm gonna need a pick in the top five of the first round because I hate the idea of losing the cornerstone of all cornerstone. But if I am, I'm gonna get into a cornerstone adjacent. And if I'm being honest, I think moving forward, Patrick Mahomes is very adjacent to Josh Allen. I'll get into that later. Um, so at the very least, I need to have the 105. From there, I'm gonna need future firsts, and I'm not just talking 2025 first. I mean 2026 first. If you're doing 2024 first, like rookie draft, I mean picks, like outside of the startup, I'm gonna need that too. Um, Maybe even if you got like a second round in the startup, third round in the startup. I mean, I'm really looking for absurd price. I mean, yes, it is start 11, so I'm going to want more pieces that are very startable. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to get a more valuable piece than Josh Allen. So if I can't get Josh Allen, let me at least get a quarterback that's comparable, somewhat, and pieces I can start immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So
quite know what the price is, but I need a
So
lot.
if I'm sitting at the 105 and I send you an offer and
Uh-huh.
say, I'll give you the 105 and a future second round pick for your 101, are you taking that deal, Smitty?
Wait. Future
And
second
this
round,
is the
like a
best
2025
offer.
second?
Yes, and this is the best offer you can find in the league because they're pinning your ears down to the table and they're saying we're going to force you to make this pick.
Then I will make that 101 pick so happily because that is terribly that's an awful offer, honestly. In my opinion, that is an awful offer. Like I said, at least I'm gonna need some firsts, like and not just one first. I'm gonna need a couple first rounders in future. So a second is just not gonna get it done because I really do believe Josh Allen. See, the greatest thing about Josh Allen, honestly, just in like a football standpoint, is he wants to beat Mahomes, and Mahomes is unbeatable at this point. So he's gonna try and like literally give his all to make sure that he beats Mahomes. So he'll put himself through everything to beat Mahomes, and that alone is exciting because Mahomes does not have that type of drive. I mean, obviously Mahomes he's striving for Brady, but this is different. This is a different type of competition. When you're looking across the street and it's like this guy's he's the guy. And you're just sitting there at second. You don't like that. You want to be number one. Meanwhile, he's trying to do other things. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen is the 101. I won't stop at a second rounder. I need a first at the very minimal, plus a top five, and then plus another future first from another year, if not, multiple from a single year.
I don't think you're going to get that, Smitty. I think you're
Yeah,
drafting a
you're
pick.
right. Yeah,
I think you're
so
drafting a pick.
just you have to make the pick. You have to make the pick. I'm
So
very
at the
excited for Josh Allen's future.
So at the 102, and I'll tell you, if it was the best offer I could get, I would wait till the last second because I'd be trying to wheel and deal more. But I might trade back the 105 for the second and just grab that asset because I'm comfortable with who I'd be drafting on the 105. But it'd be really. I don't know if I'd do it. In theory, I would, but um, maybe something else on there. So at the 102, this right now is I 100% am trading out of this pick. I don't want to make this pick. I don't want to make this pick whatsoever. I don't
Okay,
care. What I am going to try to do is I'm going to try to trade back inside the first round. And I
okay,
don't think I'm going to be greedy to try to trade back to the 105 because I don't believe I'm going to get what I want to get there because I don't think someone's going to pay a lot to move up. But what I do want to do is get around the 109, 110. I like that. I'll even the 111. If I can grab a first to trade back that much, I think I can get it. Or if I can get the 110 and the 303, I'm making that deal because I want more players right now in this start 11.
okay.
And I'll give you my thoughts of why I'm trading back there on this one, just because I want to wait till that pick. But I'm trying to trade out. Now, if I'm forced to make the pick, obviously it's a super flex. We're going to go in here. We're going to draft Patrick Mahomes. We're not going to get cute. We're not going to cute whatsoever. I'm just drafting him right there.
Can I be honest with you? I think if you have the 102, you should be jumping for just as much joy as the guy who has the 101. Because here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. He even admit this himself. Oh my God, I can't believe this is the most important Super Bowl I ever won because did you see my receivers? They were ass the whole year. I mean, these guys were dropping all night long. So moving forward, it's pretty obvious they're going to improve that wide receiver core. And if they improve that wide receiver core, that means he's going to be passing a lot more touchdowns. I mean, honestly. So like he might be passing to receivers that could pull off 50 maybe. I mean, I don't I mean like, 50-yard touchdowns. I mean, I really do see his passing game improving, period. So I I would be very excited to have Patrick Mahomes. And
So
honestly,
think,
you can even convince yourself to for him to be 101 because he is the best quarterback. So if you want to go that route, you don't worry about the rushing. He's going to throw a lot less interceptions and he's going to throw a lot more passing touchdowns because we all know that they are going to improve that wide receiver core.
think about it like this though, because this is what I would want that third or first or somewhere. But think about this. If I trade back to the 111, I have a lot
Okay.
of options at the 111. I can probably take by the way, we're drafting rookie picks, so I could pick the 102 probably right here because the 101 is
Uh,
probably off the board. But I could take the 102, which could be a generational talent, and have flexibility to build my roster the way I want to, and then go fix it later. And I have the ability to go out there and get a third rounder, and let's just say Puka Nakua maybe, but he'll probably be in the second here. But let's, people like that, Chris Olave. I just want more on top of that. Um, I would rather, or an AR 15 you can get at the 111. So I don't know, but I get it. There's just two different ways, but I'm just trying to. I want more pieces right here. Just being a start 11. Now, if this is start 10, I'm probably not trying to trade back there though. I'm trying to trade probably 107 latest, maybe in there. So you're up on the 103 here.
103, ladies and gentlemen, fret none. Jalen Hurts is the guy. I mean, like, down year last year, down year in 2023 for sure. But if anything should excite you, it's the simple fact that, uh, what's his face? Jason Kelsey's gone. That, yes, the tush push is now going to be so much weaker. Oh, unfortunate. We can all cry about that in unison. But the signing of Kellen Moore to the offensive as an offensive coordinator for the Eagles excites me so much to where the 103 is solidified. I am so excited for Jalen Hurts to pick his to get his passing game up because we know if situations fall apart, he will run. Like that's just part of his DNA. That's part of who he is, and that's going to translate very well in fantasy as it always has. But the fact that he has now potential to pass more, uh, I'm telling you, these passing touchdowns, especially in the 6 point per passing touchdown, I'm super with it. So Jalen Hurts, I'm telling you, I don't want to trade out of these top five. When we get to six, it might be something we can talk, but these top five, I'm with it for sure. I need these picks. I mean,
I
I
agree.
need these players. I mean,
I agree. You know me, I'm still trying to trade back. Same theory as the 102. But so this is right here to me is a pivotal point in the draft where who's selecting at the 104 is going to try to figure out his roster build right now, or her, sorry. But this is where if I'm at the 104, I'm trying to trade back to a specific range here. And
uh
that
huh.
range is Justin Jefferson. That's where I would try to build because I would try to build around wide receivers right now. And if I could move back there and get something, that is awesome to me because I would personally want to draft Justin Jefferson at the 4, which I'm going to go ahead and do because I have to make a pick.
I
And Justin Jefferson will be that pick.
okay, okay. I didn't
Well,
see that coming. I did not see that coming. And if I'm gonna be honest, if I'm team 6, 7, you sniped me. You freaking sniped me. But that's okay because I'm team five, and team five wants Joseph Burrow. We love Joe Burrow, and here's why. Here's why. The injury situation has been taken care of. The Bengals organization understands that we cannot function without Joe Burrow. Like, I mean, the Jake Browning experience was exciting, but to win playoff games, are you kidding me? No, no, no. It all centers on Burrow. Plus, they put the franchise tag on T. Higgins, which is quietly a lot more exciting for Burrow. Well, it's actually very loud, very much more exciting for Burrow. And then plus a 6 point passing touchdown. 6 point passing 6 points for passing touchdowns. So Joe Burrow is a true gunslinger. He has his arsenal, and then they replaced Tyler Boyd with someone young and excited because I mean, just knowing that you go into this offense, you have Super Bowl like potential. So yeah, there's no way I'm not gonna get Burrow at five. There's no way I wasn't gonna get him at four if I'm being honest. So that's an interesting pick at four if I'm being honest. It just tells
you
me you
know,
don't really love Burrow, man, don't you? Do you?
so if we did this last week or the week before, I probably would push back a little bit more on it. But I do think the franchise tag of T. Higgins, like I actually really do think they want to keep Higgins there. Higgins is the best compliment that Jamar Chase could have, and
Oh
I
man,
think that's pushing his value up a little bit there. Um, but I always make this comparison. We talked about it on another podcast. Is if I look at Joe Burrow and I look at Brock Purdy, this is why I'd be trying to trade out of a pick that I do Joe Burrow because I don't see what the difference is. And if you ask me, And when I say I don't see what the difference is, it's drafting Brock Purdy at the back of the second or the start of the third to what I could do there. That's just my thought. But I like the pick. I'm not going to knock Joe Burrow at the 105, but I will tell you at the 106, this team is deciding to go get himself a elite quarterback. We're just going to go ahead and put Lamar Jackson on the squad at the 106. And I think this team's going to dance for joy that they got Lamar Jackson at the 106. And if the draft played out this way, I don't think I'm trying to trade out of it. I think I'm just smashing Lamar Jackson and moving on.
Dude, yes. And you know what's so great about that? Now I can hop on the freaking train and say this crap that you all have been pushing in my veins the entire offseason. At Team 7, if I have the 107 and CJ Stroud falls, I'm going to be, oh my God. Have y'all seen The League, the show on FX? I will be doing one of those Shiva Komene Sanda Krams out loud because CJ Stroud is a fantastic player who had a phenomenal, possibly the best rookie season ever. And you get him at 7? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am all about that. So, yeah, again, like you said, exactly what you said for Jackson. I don't want to trade out of it. I'm just, whew, I am so many explicit. I can't say all the words I'm thinking. I'm very happy, and I would love to have CJ Stroud at this pick.
So we're gonna do a stat correction on here because I hate this sleeper the way it's going right now. I didn't take my notes. Man, CJ Stroud, I just totally forgot about him. My bad. Sorry, community. CJ Stroud is above Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. You are 100% correct.
Dude, I don't know. There
And
were some off games where CJ Stroud only scored about 15 points. I mean, like in a healthy Burrow, 15 points is what you can bet on. You know, it they're gonna improve that offense. You know, you're right. You're right. I am actually okay completely with Stroud over Burrow. I am.
it's just pick your poison. It's just
Pick a
different
poison.
strokes for different folks. But I'm absolutely drafting above Lamar Jackson a 6 point passing touchdown. So stat correction. Sorry, doesn't happen too often here, but this system absolutely sucks here. So all right,
Low
so I'm
key.
sitting at the 108. I'd be trying to wheel and deal in a start 11 here, but same philosophies apply to some of those first two picks that I was in, and just trying to get a little bit more. This is the point where the 101's on the table for me. I'm really starting to think
Oh.
about the 101 here, and I know we got some big name quarterbacks here still. I know we
Mm-hmm.
got Jamar Chase out there.
Well, yep, yep, yep.
Um, but this is where on Team 108, I might want to start thinking about the flexibility of having the 101 and what I can do with that later and what I can package to kind of build my team so I don't have to stress out about roster construction in this draft. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the 101 here.
I love that. Honestly, I love that because, like you said, the flexibility, it could be
What
your
the?
quarterback one. I'm sorry, that what the attacked me. Anyways, that could be the quarterback. That could be, the top dog wide receiver. I love the flexibility so much. Um,
But what it also
yeah.
could be, Fitty,
Mhm.
is it could be that, you know what, I actually get some really solid value that dropped to me. And maybe I don't actually need Marv or I need Caleb. Maybe I can break that into two really good players or three or a future
That's a
to
fact.
then really fill out that roster. So, I mean, the 101 is expensive right now and doesn't have a name yet. So, um, I like it. I like that you're in there with these rookie picks because it's fun. It's so fun to
Dude,
build this way.
and you get that at the back end of the first round. I mean, I used to hate being pat. Like I said, I'm not trading out of the 1 through 5, but now, like just thinking about the flexibility of that 101. Oh wow, I might just tie that just to the 101, 102 solidified, and then from there we can talk. God, I love that. I love that pick way too much, if I'm being honest. I'm actually jealous.
Yeah, you got
Team 9
CJ
is
Stroud at the
best.
107 because I didn't write my notes down for this show and I'm, not thinking right while podcasting.
Oh man, who is CJ Stroud to Caleb Williams or Marv? Man, whatever. I think
Maybe
you.
your boy Jaden Daniels by the time draft season comes, who knows?
Oh, see, getting me hot and bothered. Okay, okay. uh, let's see. Team nine should really. If I was Team Nine, I'm not even joking. I want to double dip in the second. So give me your second rounder, please. I mean, in the startup, your second round in the startup, and then from there, maybe you know what I would do 100%, and I actually might do this if I really find myself in this position. I want your second and third, and you can have the pick. Because like what we still have Justin Fields, we still have Jamar Chase. I mean, we still have real dogs. I mean, we still have the tight end one, we still have the running back one. I mean, we still have Anthony Richardson. Yeah, dude, I want a double dip in the second and third, and for that, please get the elite player you think is in position number nine. So I
What
would
about
like
a
to
third
trade
and a
out.
fifth? What
So
if
what?
someone offered you a third and the fifth, and
Third
they're
and the fifth?
beefing? Let's say it's the 302 and a 502.
The fifth is just a little too low for me because I don't know who I'm gonna see down there, but I know I'm not gonna see Fields. I know I'm not gonna see AR. I know, and I know I'm saying okay, but if I could double dip, it's the value of the one of the two and the three in my start 11, start 10 is just a little more valuable. So than the one guy I could get in the nine. And honestly, like now that I'm really thinking about this, I would have traded a handful of these picks earlier. So yeah, Team Nine is definitely where you should truly consider tearing down. Um, the five is not going to do it. The three and four we can talk. The three and four we can talk.
Okay.
Honestly, I might even consider it. And if you throw in like a future third, let me not sell myself so short. If you throw in a future second in 2025, I think you got that deal done with me. Honestly, would you take the a s- 206, 306, and a future in a 2025 third for the 109? Would you do that?
Yeah, to start 11, you just won. I mean, you just nailed a trade. Because I would be trading that for a second and fourth all day long in a start 11. Start
Okay,
10,
so
I'm
I'm
gonna get a
being
lot
greedy.
more.
Okay, yeah,
I'm going to get a lot more picky, but you know I'm going to try to get a third in there. I'm going to try to get the picks that people don't care about because they matter to me how I play and when I need
that's
to go
right.
buy people. But I still think, if we got to, pin your ears down, if you got to make this pick, I still think we're in a really good range.
Hmm.
And we're in the range that I was talking about trading the Patrick Mahomes at 102 back to plus some. So who do you think if we got to make this pick at the 109?
Okay, honest to God. Okay, if I'm trading away, I love how you mentioned Mahomes. Ooh, because I just talked him up. If I was to trade away Mahomes for uh this this pick plus, I don't know, the third. I mean, a third rounder. I don't know. Third rounder startup wise. I want AR. I personally want AR. I mean, just call me a homer, but you know what? I'm sorry. Let me look at our rankings real quick because our next quarterback up is is indeed AR. Okay, that's great. In fact, I
Rankings
reached for Burrow. Like, that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
rankings don't
Anyway,
really matter because all you get to do now is build how you want to build around what you're picking right here. So,
that's a
you know
fact.
what?
Yeah, so I want AR then because as a homer, seeing him evade Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald was trying to get blood on his jersey, I was so impressed with Anthony Richardson. I love this kid. I really do. This guy is gonna. I mean, the 4 games, 3 games we saw of him, that didn't that barely touched the surface of what this kid can do. So Anthony Richardson, I'm highly excited for that. Do you think that's a reach of that pick? I mean, honestly, because
Uh,
I'm gushing. I love him.
Not at all. If
Not at
you're
all.
forced to pick, not at all. But the 109 here in this draft is another decision you need to make around how do you want to build.
Hmm.
Because Jamar Chase comes in there, CeeDee Lamb goes in there. Um,
That's true. That's
but
true.
I at the 109, I'm right with you, and nothing would make my heart feel better than him actually being what he can be and staying healthy. He's one of my most rostered players.
That's so sick. I
Now,
love that.
yeah, so 110, I got the same options I just told you there. I mean, I got Jamar Chase, I got the 102. I've got CeeDee Lamb on the board. Um, I got to make a decision how I want to build because do I want to solidify Jamar Chase right here? Because that's probably where I would be focusing on Jamar Chase. Or do I want the flexibility of the 102, which I know is either going to be I mean, we'll see what the draft says, but let's just say it's Neighbors, Marv, Caleb. I like the flexibility of that, but we're talking about a true stud um, in Jamar Chase. And I'm probably going to draft Jamar Chase right here. And the reason I'm going to do that as well is if I don't draft him, the possibility of a Jamar Chase, CD Lamb, two wide receiver start for team 11 or 12, I don't want to have to face a team that has those
Mm.
two. I would rather take maybe they go the 102 and CD Lamb. You know what? Maybe the 102 doesn't pay out. I know Jamar Chase is good. So that's part of the reason I'm going to draft him over the 102 right here.
First off, can you hear me? How does my sound? How do I
Sound
sound?
good. Sound good.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. I would have definitely. Yeah, Jamar Chase is perfect for that spot. Okay, now here's the thing. If you're using sleeper, Justin Herbert's looking at you dead in the face. But I'm gonna tell you why he's okay to fall because Jim Harbaugh is is a very much a run guy. Like he's like he loves to run the ball. I mean, we saw that in the Natty, and if you were even paying attention to Michigan football, which I wasn't, but from what I do even know of it, they ran the ball so much to where JJ McCarthy was barely even a quarterback. Like he was a game manager by definition. I mean, so I'm super. I hate this because he's in LA with us. I mean, he's very talented, honestly, and I'm just gonna have to let Herbert go. So I'm either trading out of this. I'm trading out of this, or I'm getting CD Lamb, and I'm either trading out or getting CD Lamb. It will not be Justin Herbert for me. Not at the
Okay.
110 or 111. I'm sorry, not the 111. I don't want Herbert there. I want him I'm not feeling it.
Okay. I like it.
So yeah, give
Um,
me Lamb.
I
Yeah,
think
Lamb. Sorry, I spent all that
I
time
got you.
crapping on Herbert. Lamb.
I I don't think if I'm doing a startup, Justin Herbert will be on my team this year. I I just if you go look at those Trinity and those wars, it's just I don't need him on my team. I can go build elsewhere. Um, yeah, I just don't think he's going to be on my squad this year. I really don't. It's going to be interesting where we draft him because we'll draft him where people should. But I'm jumping for joy at CD Lamb. I got back-to-back picks
Ooh.
here. This I'm just going to smash. It's not even a question. I'm going to smash the 102 right
Yep.
there.
What
Give me the
the?
flexibility that I want. Now I have a decision. How do I want to build this team right now? I try to trade the pick, but then again, all that applies. I don't think I'd be too greedy right here. But as I look at this, my options that I'm thinking about here is Sun God. If I want to go, nice solid wide receiver. I've got some quarterbacks out there that I need to think about. But man, if I really got to make this pick right now, let me make sure he's not off the board here. So. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go Sun God, and in my mind, that gives me such flexibility right now.
Yes.
I would try to trade back in a range I could get Sun God or probably two or three receivers after that. But if I got to pick. Sun God it is. I don't have a pick for a while now, so let's roll. Oh gosh, I'm typing in Sun God. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. So good. Oh,
That's
good
who he is to
lord. All
us.
right.
That's who he is. Can I be honest?
Ross St. Brown is off the board.
Can I be honest with you? I personally would not have traded out that pick. I would have made Sun God and I would have been cheesing the whole time because like you mentioned, the flexibility of the 102, you can go double super duper stud wide receiver, or you can even make that pick a quarterback. I mean, just the flexibility. Oh my god, I am.
But
Yeah, I would.
think about trading back to the Jordan Love range right there
No,
as well.
no. I think. I mean,
No?
yeah. Just because I love Amon Ross so much, I think you did the a bang up job. And you know what? If we're talking, speaking of Jordan Love, yeah, this is the exact guy I would pair up with CeeDee Lamb here. So Jordan Love, I mean, obviously he's shown stud capabilities in 2023. He even went to the playoffs and destroyed CeeDee Lamb's team, honestly. So yeah, I love that combo of having Jordan Love, which is the youth and quarterback. You got the youth and receiver at CeeDee Lamb. I love that for this team. But I'm sorry, Team 12 is my favorite. That was great, dude. That was super great. I would kill to do that in a real startup.
Yeah, I'm seeing it just in the ones I'm doing, like real drafts, man. I'm seeing that 102 and Jamar Chase get stacked there. CeeDee
Oh.
Lamb gets stacked at that 112. And I just look at that, I'm like, that is dangerous what you could do with that combination
Mm-hmm.
and the flexibility. So sometimes like I said, sometimes I gotta play keep away, and I just don't want a team to build around that. So, oops, what do we do here? Sorry, you're Jordan Love right here. My bad. Let's remove player and let's put Jordan Love in there. All right, so now I gotta think about how I want to build this team. I got some question marks. I got Jamar Chase, so I got a cornerstone wide receiver in here. I take a look at what are the other wide receivers. We could put Puka on this team, and we could just start a zero strategy. I'm not drafting Trevor Lawrence here. I'm not drafting Brock Purdy here. So quarterback's not an option for what elite talent's on there. Running backs off the table. I got my options of any tight end that I want. Um, but I think I'm gonna just make you happy here. I really no, I'm not. I'm gonna draft a 103.
The 103?
Yep. I can't because if I got to trade out of
What
this,
the?
I mean, I'm not going to draft a player that I actually would put there at this pick. I'd have to take the 103. Now I know I got my option of second best quarterback, second best wide receiver, quite possibly the wide receiver one. So flexibility around all my picks so far for teams.
I love that pick because honestly, I personally, in my heart, would have felt pressured. I would have felt pressured to pick Herbert there. I'm not even lying. I would have really said, okay, he's one of the last few elite quarterbacks here. Oh no, I must get him so I can at least have a top dog quarterback. No, what you did was the perfect move. I love that you got the 103. I really do. And then plus, like, if you wanna if you wanna buy a quarterback with him, you will get someone way better than Burrow. I mean than Herbert. So Anthony Richardson here, honestly, I would also
This is where
feel
Herbert you got to go, right? You got to go Herbert
I would
here.
feel really pressured to get him. It's either between him or Puka Nakua. And honestly, I'm one of those people who this is a real thing. I think this is a real thing for me, at least. To where people are so in complete disbelief with what Puka Nakua did, to where they're like, "Whoa, is his value like here because I drafted him in the fourth round of a rookie draft? Like, is he really here? Like, is this what my team could be? Like, is this?" That's a real like anxiety that some people have. At least I do. So it feels weird to even draft him because it's just unreal the type of season he had. But yeah, I'm gonna for 6 point passing. I'm gonna want that statue of a quarterback who has potential to run, and then plus the guy who will run it. So I'm happy doing Justin Herbert right here at the 109. I mean at the 209, at 203,
Yeah, I think
203, right?
I think
Or
that's good. You
204.
get
Sorry, I'm getting lost.
yeah. No, I think that's really good because you get stability that, Herbert doesn't get injured that much. So, your other QB is definitely injury prone. So I like that. I like that. I like that a lot, man. So two QB stack right there.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at
So
that.
when I told you the when I took the 103, the pick before, that the player that I would have actually drafted if I had drafted the pick was Puka
Oh,
Nacua.
you did, yep.
Um, yeah, that's where I would have drafted them, right there. The 104 is in consideration in Puka for this pick. This pick's got the 101, but if I go ahead and draft the 104 here, what that's going to end up doing is saying, okay, what if what if I bust on both of these and actually have to pick these? So I don't think I'm going to go to the 104 here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put Puka. What's the full name?
Makea Puka Nakua. Puka means short and fast, or chubby and fast, some shit like that. I don't know. It means absolutely what he's not. Like, that's what I hate about the name Puka, because it doesn't represent him at all. But I guess it's a joke amongst him and his friends. I don't know. Maybe him and Dana White have that little thing going. I don't like the name, to be honest. It's fun to say, but it doesn't accurately depict the god he is. So, Puka Nakua, Makea
I also
Nakua.
got to put him on that team. I mean, the hair, Phil. That guy's hair, man. You know me. I'm all about the hair. I love it. I'm jealous. I'm always talking about people's awesome hair. But this pick, Smitty, CJ Stroud goes to the 107. I think that's a pick. That's a steal of the draft so far. Who are you going to put on this team?
You know what? I'm looking at wide receivers, and I could reach for a stack. I'm looking at running backs, but I think it's a little too early. And then there's also okay. So here's the situation. This is a either reach or potential bust. So you have to trade, in my opinion. If I had the tools, I would trade. I would trade because I already lost Puka. I already lost all the other top quarterbacks. I don't want to draft a running back right now. I'm trading out, but of course, and I damn sure don't want to draft a tight end right now. But if I have to make a pick, I'm a stachiosexual. Give me Tank Dell. I mean, and it's so high. It's such a reach, and it's ugly, and it's so crazy because there's Tyreek Hill. I get that. I get that. I get that. But I'm telling you, this is so ugly. Like, I don't want anybody here. I love Bijan to death. I can't do it. I love, dude, Laporta, Kincaid. I want them both, but not now. I don't like. I don't. It's all. It's
So,
all.
so you're legitimately gonna. So you would probably be trying to trade to the
Oh, you know
top of
what?
the fourth
I'm
round.
sorry. I forgot about the 104. That is a smash on the 104, in my opinion.
Okay, I was gonna say because I was gonna make you do that.
Okay, thank God, because I knew I was reading
Yeah, I was gonna do what you did not do for CJ Stroud for me. Um, but so you would try to trade this
a
pick,
hundred
get to the
percent.
top of the fourth round, get a first, maybe get a sixth, whatever it is, but you would try to trade there to get Tank Dell at the top of the fourth round, probably.
Yeah, because
So
everyone I
draft
want is
him a few
just
rounds
a reach
early.
at this point, and I understand the appeal of Tyreek Hill. Trust me, and I completely understand the appeal of Bijan, but it doesn't sit right in my heart drafting in
What
baseball.
the?
So yeah, the 104, the flexibility. Oh God, I think I'm loving this team so much now.
I love it. Right now, here's the tier break for picks. 104 is off the board. So I'm not so positive about the flexibility. I still want it, but I'm not going to bank on the flexibility, even though I know I could do a lot with this with the 105. So that's completely off the board for me right now. Now, as I look at where I'd want to go with this, like Joe Burrow, or sorry, Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson, I like this. I'm honestly considering a tight end here,
Oh, okay.
but I cannot not put Kyler Murray with Lamar Jackson to be the combination together that I really want. Kyler Murray is off the board.
You know what? I have so much respect for that because it in your heart it feels like a reach, but it's honestly ADP needs to catch up. That's appropriate. That's appropriate
Yeah,
in
but
my
I'm
opinion.
seeing him drafted right here, or even a little bit before this now. I'm not
Oh,
seeing him get to
really?
that back in the second like he was.
Because
Yeah,
that man
and
is
I
built.
think it's all these mock drafts that are projecting Marvin Harrison going to the Arizona Cardinals is really pushing him up.
It should too.
Um,
I love that.
yeah, but I don't.
I'm actually
If I
so
got a
happy.
running quarterback, I'm just going to roll with running quarterbacks, man. Like I love Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray together. I love that combination. I have in a lot of places too.
Hey, that's a damn good combo. Now, all of that makes me look at these quarterbacks. But if I'm being honest, this, in my opinion, is a smash for Tyreek Hill. And here's why, though. Because Burrow, I think at this point, we should kind of consider Burrow to be a win now type of piece. So if you're gonna, I mean, because like he's already officially injury prone, so I think his window is closing. I mean, they already have to put the tag on Higgins, so like he's out of here soon. And then, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill. It's just this is your window. This team has to go for it now. So Team Five, let's win it.
So I'm going to assume that you are going to try to trade back because if you want that specific build, I think you can get Tyreek a little bit later.
Oh, really?
And let's say someone comes up and offers you the 304 for the 208 in a second. Smash it all day because you can probably get Tyreek Hill there. So now you land the roster construction with the player that you want. I think that's I like that combo. You know me. Do, the cheetah's going to go out wide receiver one, wide receiver one. I'm telling you, he is. It's going to happen. I love it. And are you hearing all this stuff on talking about Jalen Waddle, how he is the future, and all this stuff on all
I
the?
haven't heard a single positive thing about Waddle in a long time, and I don't know. I don't know why that is, and I feel bad for even saying it like that. But I don't know what's. I'm glad that people are speaking positively of him because I don't hear it. I've kind of left him in the dust, to be honest.
I'm doing something. I'm gonna do it, just because of what I talked about drafting Justin Jefferson right
Uh
there.
huh.
Um, I'm gonna take the quarterback that I prefer because of where you can draft him over Joe Burrow, and I'm going to take the Justin Jefferson, Brock Purdy over Joe Burrow, Tyreek Hill, or even if that was Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, or if that was, sorry, I mean Joe Burrow, Garrett Wilson, Joe Burrow, AJ Brown. I'm going to take just Jefferson, Purdy over all of it because of Justin Jefferson is legitimately the best wide receiver.
Look, I honestly, Purdy has an arsenal. Purdy has an arsenal. 6 point passing that could look. I think we have a new steal of the draft. If I'm being honest, I think that was a great pick.
I like it.
I lo- you like it, I
I'm
love
really
it.
happy. I don't think I would try to trade that pick either if Purdy was there. Um, I just don't think I would because after that, they're quarterbacks that I don't really want.
100%.
Um, Especially right there. I know Trevor Lawrence is still on the board, but I think we're pretty down on him on this podcast. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but I probably think Trevor Lawrence should have been drafted a little bit sooner. But it's how we're building these teams is why he's not there because it's a very specific build that we're doing for each one. So you got Jalen Hurts. This is gonna be fun. Are you gonna stack him with AJ
100%, no
Brown?
question about it.
What
I
if,
have to do it. I don't even. I'm not considering his trade out. I'm not considering a second quarterback. It has to be Arthur Juwan. I have to get him.
yeah,
Now, honestly though, these next two picks, this is where it gets fun.
this is where it gets really fun. Um, I'm drafting Sam Laporta right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two massive positional advantages. I I adore it. Honestly, I adore it. But me personally, I adore it. But me personally, I have to go. I have to see what Justin Fields can do because I know. Let's say this is a third round reversal. I know that I will not be able to get another quarterback worth a damn for a while. I mean,
It
maybe
is a
actually,
third
you know
round
what?
reversal.
Here's the truth. I want the next pick. Actually, I want the next pick.
You want the
I
105?
want the 105. I
Okay,
would
I
prefer
like
that.
it.
Yep, that would be it. Because with that, it could be a quarterback, it could be a receiver. It really depends on how the next round falls. Now, next week we're gonna continue this.
What the?
The what that kills me. But
Yeah, we got round 3 and 4 next week.
we got round 3 or 4 next week. Now, is it going to be a third round reversal?
It is,
It is
yes.
okay. Yeah,
So
then I'm super pleased with this pick.
yeah, and I mean the flexibility. Look, the 105 is going to have a quarterback, it's going to have a wide receiver or an elite tight end. One of those will be available, but you can break it up later if you want to. You know how I feel about that. I like that. So you have absolute Josh Allen, nice liquidity around the pick. I like it. I like what you're doing a lot. I don't think I would have drafted Justin Fields there.
Yeah, I didn't
I
want
don't
to,
think
but
I
I,
would.
I honestly, if it's a third round reversal, I need that second quarterback now because the guys that fall are not exciting to me. And
So
honestly,
what
I
if?
really would have wanted Purdy to fall if I'm being blatantly honest, but I don't think he would have. Not the way these teams are
So the
built.
last thing
Yeah.
Yeah, so last thing I will talk about liquidity because I know people are getting sick of hearing this, but that pick right there. What if Jaden Daniels falls to the 105? What if he does? I'm re-rolling Jaden Daniels over Justin Fields. I'm going to re-roll it younger. He's going to have draft capital. I know I got three guaranteed years for him. Probably more if he's a stud. But I mean, what if Malik Neighbors falls there? Now you've got possibly generational talent. I love it, man. That's fantastic. Everybody, that's why we talk about liquidity right there. It gives us options. So, all right, that's round one and two. We'll get round three and four next week, but we have to give the people what they want. It is time for us to talk a little music. Now, Smitty, I didn't warn you about this, but I want to switch this up a little bit,
Okay.
okay? Here's why. I have realized that you are actually a bigger Radiohead fan than me. And that says a lot. That says a lot. I want to take this and I don't want to debate. I want you to talk to me about what you love about Radiohead. I want you to talk about your favorite songs. I want you to talk to me and talk to me as a fan. Teach me more about Radiohead. And by the way, everyone, I am a humongous Radiohead fan.
Wow. For you to say you're a humongous Radiohead fan, and then you say that I'm a bigger fan than you, that is, I'm honored. So, let me take it back. Recently, not too long ago, not that recent, but a couple years ago, um, I was, just trying to listen to all the bands I've always wanted to. I've heard good things about, but never given the chance. And during this period, something that most people would consider traumatic happened in my life. And at that time, was very, I was really in need of music therapy, I guess. So, for some odd reason, the Bins, it was an album I went to. I don't know, just the album cover looked like a man that needed music therapy. I don't know. That just the album cover looks interesting to me. And I listened to the album top to bottom, but let me talk about the final song, Street Spirit Fade Out. That song right there was the exact hug I needed. I mean, first off, it is bleak as can be. You're talking about rows of houses literally building upon you. It's just you're being buried in suburbia. You're just being buried by generations of I can't even put it to words, just like excess, frankly. And you're just being like it's a really dour song. But the thing is, when most people when some people think about Radiohead, they think, oh, this is a depressing band, and if I'm depressed, it's just going to make me feel worse. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. Now, if you want that to be the case, there are plenty of songs in their discography that'll feed that need. But let me tell you something. The final verse, like the outro of Street Spirit Fade Out, Tom in his beautiful falsetto soprano falsetto verse, he says, immerse yourself in love. Now, that can be obvious to most people. If you surround yourself in love, then you start feeling that, and then maybe you even want to give it because you are just overcome, you're overwhelmed. It's gonna help you feel less crumbled and buried under all this crap, right? But the way the
Smitty, that
music is set up for that, and the way he says it, and the way the freaking background vocals, the album is a rock album, and then it gets to this song where it's just like alternative and beautiful and dark, and then at the end it's just euphoric as can possibly be, where he's saying, immerse yourself in love. That line right there, I'm going to, before I die, it's going to get tatted somewhere. It's probably going to get tatted in multiple places because that line right there really can really pick you up. Now, like I said, right?
Smitty, I got to stop you real quick because I
Okay.
want to tell you something.
Sorry, I just.
That is the coolest story. And what I love about that is because you want to know why I love Radiohead so much?
Hmm.
We had a debate a long time ago, and we talked about what was the best Radiohead album. And you were at OK Computer, and I was at the Bend. And I don't know if I ever told you the whole story of why I actually felt the Benz was. I had a very traumatic event happen in my life that I almost died. I had brain surgery, neck surgery, I was in a bad car accident. But the Benz album is what got me out of that. I fell in love with the Benz album. It was incredible. And, I always send you this, what's your favorite, Radiohead song? I mean, I love Fake Plastic Trees because when Tom York hits the lyric that just says, but I can't help the feeling I could blow through the ceiling if I just turn and ran, or just turn and run. That was, I don't know, that part of the song got me out of all that shit, dude. So that's kind of cool. We fell in love with Radiohead for the same reason.
Honestly, that is a beautiful moment. That's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. We literally fell in love with the band, kind of going through some hard shit in our lives. But what's your favorite song? Well, give me some of your favorite songs.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, it's tough to. Actually, it's not tough. I do have a solidified 101 favorite Radiohead song. I do want to say this though. Street Spirit, it has to be my second favorite because of what it did for me when it did it. So I do adore that song, but just going through their discography and adoring every single thing they've done. Dex Dark off of their latest album, A Moonshaped Pool. Dex Dark is definitely my favorite because not only at that time when they were creating that album, there was a true sense of hopelessness at the time when Radiohead has officially have imaginary castle money where they had the amount of money where they can just make fantasy realities out of nothing. Like they were rich out of belief. They got everything they ever wanted to do accomplished. They got all the Grammys, all the awards, the accolades. They're inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They are just considered one of the best bands ever. And then people like me are even debating if they're the best band ever. But anyways, so they've done all that, and so they could have stopped years before. In fact, there was a 10-year gap between this album and their previous album before this one. But anyways, their latest album, it pretty much centers around Tom York's wife dying of cancer. Like, I mean, diagnosed with cancer, them separating divorce style, and then her dying during the rollout of this album. But she doesn't die during the making of the album. Anyways, the album has hopelessness very much attached to it, and there are studies shown that A Moonshaped Pool, their latest and possibly final album, is their saddest, just based off of science. Anyways, off of that album, track 3, Dex Dark, that song beautifully captures the feeling of accepting a dark fate. It's like this is not the narrative of the song, but the feeling of the song is there's a gunman to your head. He's gonna pull the trigger because you're not complying. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to let the bullet hit. The song perfectly, in my opinion, captures that. Okay, this is it.
You said
Boom.
that to me today, and I hadn't listened to that song in years. And man, I just jammed out to it about 7 times in a row. I love that song. It's fantastic. And Tom York, man, this is what. So me picking my favorite Radiohead song is impossible because I legitimately love every one of them. I have never listened to a Radiohead song and said I didn't like that. I mean, whatever mood I'm in, I can find something. But he is the king of just 4 chords, just repeating and repeating and repeating, and you can't get enough of it. And
Mm.
it's absolutely amazing to me. The other side of it is he doesn't do your traditional, where they do the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Like he does whatever the hell he wants to do, and the songs are just incredible. But thank you for sending that to me today. I haven't listened to that in so long. Oh, that was great. So, what do you think about my favorite? When I talk about Reckoner, I love that song. There is so much the percussion, Smitty. I mean, the noises that are going on in this song, I still can't figure all them out, and I've listened to the song 1,000 times. Like that is the most ADD song I've ever heard in my entire life. It is my jam. That's a go-to for me for sure.
Dude, apparently I was listening to a podcast dissect the whole album, and apparently the middle of that song where it like all the instruments stop, and it's just Tom singing like in the middle. to like bring in that second half. Apparently, that's dead in the center of In Rainbows, like in the middle of the runtime. Like that's so
So
crazy
that's
to
when he
me.
goes ripples on a blank shore, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. I think so. And at that point, like that's literally the halfway point. And like even from that point of the song becomes something different and freaking gorgeous and expands and sends you to heaven. I mean, wow, what a fucking pick.
Dude,
What a
that
pick.
line, ripples on a blank shore, I
Mm.
felt that makes me feel so depressed thinking about that. I had to name my team after the year in Triple C into Ripples on a Blank Shore because I felt so
Oh,
depressed I didn't win that league. Um,
dang.
so what do you think about, because one of my other favorite songs on here that I just love the chillness of it, the exit music from a film. That is just, oh, I love it's so chill, dude.
Dude, I mean, now we're getting to OK Computer territory where pretty much every song, all but one, is like a 10 out of 10. That when, oh my God. I mean, I think my absolute favorite point of that song, outside of the lyrics, outside of everything, outside of him belting at the end, is the song starts off acoustically, right? And then out of kind of nowhere, you hear the drummer Phil Savoy go dum 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 ba-dum, boom boom, and then everything comes in
Listen
like
to
he
you
really
get the
set that
beat,
up
baby.
so perfectly. He set that up so perfectly, and then the song just becomes like a serious moment. It's like we are breaking out. We are going to forget your family, forget my family. We are going to become this couple no matter what.
So the intro to another song on there, it's like one of my favorite intros of any song. It's not one of my favorite Radiohead songs, but the first like 30 seconds of it, no
Okay,
surprises, bro. I mean, just when it kicks on in the beginning, I'm like, oh, take me there, Tom. Let's do it.
dude, and I think, and honestly, I hate that. I really do hate that. That what do you call that music box type sound? I really am not here for it, but that song makes me really I like the tear comes the first second you hear it because it's like when you think of musical toy boxes, that kind of you kind of associate that with joy, but not with this one. Not with this one. This song is straight up. I mean, the dude is really contemplating suicide. He's over this type of world,
Yep.
and it's so crazy how dark he made the content for a song that sounds like that. It's actually really disturbed. I
If
mean,
I ever win Triple C, Smitty, I'm gonna name the team after I win. No alarm and no surprises.
oh, dude, that.
That's full circle.
Oh, wow.
So
No alarm and
let's
no
rank these albums. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm more on board with OK Computer. I get it. I totally get it. But let's rank a few albums here. So Pablo Honey is not being ranked by us because believe it or not, that was not a good album. I did not like it.
And let
Um,
me be honest about Pablo Honey real quick. I mean, when you're a young group of kids that like want to start a band, honestly, for the notoriety, you kind of got to play the game, the radio game. No, no pun, but you have to play the radio. Like, what is everyone else doing? This is what you like? Okay, cool. Let's give that a shot. So I won't ever spit on Pablo Honey, but it's rarely getting play. I mean, but shout out to Creep. I adore that as a
oh yeah,
single. I love that I can go into any karaoke bar and someone's gonna do that. I'm really happy about that. And even
I feel like
Blowout is
Pablo
good.
Honey
I mean,
was the version.
I don't
So no,
like
here's
it.
an analogy. I got one for you.
Okay, you
That
did.
Pablo Honey was like your version of your first Dynasty startup draft,
Oh my
where
god.
yeah, you maybe nailed one really good player, but you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're right. That's fantastic. Oh
So
wow,
let's
that
rank
was
four albums.
okay.
I
Sure.
think these are the masterpieces.
Hmm.
Um, I want to rank The Bends, In
Okay.
Rainbows, OK Computer, and Kid A. I think those to me are the four. I mean, do you want to put a moon shaped, what is that? Sorry, a moon
A
shaped
moon-shaped pool. Do I
pool?
want to put it there?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. But I do want to say that Amnesiac is knocking at the door of whatever we have at fourth, because there are some seriously crazy songs on that. But I mean, if we're talking four, let's
Yeah.
talk four. Um, because Amnesiac would be fifth no matter what. Um, at four of those,
So what's your number four?
Brian, I'm so sorry. I actually do have Amnesiac over the Bends. I do.
Okay. I get
I
it.
do.
I get
I
it.
think Pyramid Song is my third favorite Radiohead song, and a genuine masterpiece. I mean, like Jesus
I
Christ.
get it, dude. The
I mean,
Bends,
Jesus
the
Christ.
Bends was just a. It was the time in my life is why I love that album so much. But I'm
And,
fine. Let's kick the Bends out because if
well,
if
no, I
if you're
mean,
not if you're not emotionally connected to that moment in your life, it is not one of their better CDs. Or sorry, see, I said CDs. Wow,
no, because
albums.
that's what it was at the time. But I mean, but then like I praise Street Spirit for even getting me to give a damn. So I mean,
Okay,
it's there. It's just Amnesiac is different. Is just different to me, I guess.
all right,
But yeah,
cool.
those would be four. Those would be four to me. What do you have for it?
So no, I'm fine. We're gonna rank them just like we do the things. I'm fine putting that at four. Kicking the Bends out. I'm totally good with
Oh,
that. Totally
well,
get it.
all right.
Now, to me, for the number three spot is going to be a conversation between In Rainbows and Kid A. And some of my favorite songs are on In Rainbows, but it's just a really different sound he had for that. I think Kid A is a better album for what I traditionally listen to, so I would put I'd put In Rainbows at the three and Kid A at the two.
I haven't got there yet. I mean, here's the thing. I don't even like. I'm not even the biggest fan of electronic dance music. So when they get this intelligent dance music where the rhythm is just is doing exciting things, or not, I wouldn't even say exciting. I would say doing complicated things. Um, Half the time that doesn't really get me. But if I'm being honest, Kid A is god tier though. Kid A is really god tier. I mean, how to disappear completely? Jesus Christ! I mean, the album starts off like it literally starts off the first freaking note. It just gets you in a groove because that everything in its right place is possibly one of the best intro tracks ever. I mean, just a really great intro track. I get it. I get it. I cannot in my heart put that over in Rainbows. And Rainbows is the
It's so
Chad
good.
formation of all five of them. I mean, like and even like we like to say Colin the bass player is like one of the low tier characters, but his involvement in the song Nude makes Nude a
It's so
top
good.
five song. Like I
It's
mean
so
it,
good.
and it's a goated song because of Colin. Like I'm I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you mentioned Reckoner, which is another offering from the Lord. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That is
That's
the god tier for me, man. It is just like it is straight porn to my ears. Like I will never not be able to get enough of it. Every time I listen to that song, I fall in love with it in a different way, dude. It's the most insane song ever. So I'm
well.
cool with In
Tell
Rainbows
me
at
about
two.
Kid A
I'm
though. Like
totally cool with that.
what about Kid A do you like so much? I mean, obviously it's great, but like what touched you so much about Kid A?
It honestly, it was the whole sound of the album. Like it
Hmm.
really just blended so well. I don't know. It's just every album is like a different sound. Like like that's why I've never heard a song I don't like. It's just all right. I'm in this mood, so I'll get Kid A. Or I'm in this mood, I'll do the Bends, and it's just I just fall in love with it all over again. But I just love from start to finish that album. I just think they put it together. The tracks blended perfectly together. So it wasn't really about the songs that I loved the most on there. It was about just how it flowed together for me. I love that album. I
Dude, and
really do.
honestly, I'm certainly in the minority because I guess I'm truly a late bloomer when it comes to Kid A because I'm just not the biggest fan of electronic music. But if we're gonna play with electronic music, that's where we gotta go. So, I mean, and plus,
And
it's not even entirely electronic. I mean, National Anthem is a freaking banger. I mean, what?
But keep in mind this too, Smitty. I
Mhm.
graduated in 2000 when that album came out.
Wow,
So
wow,
I
you
mean, it's
got.
like my whole journey of life was through this band, dude.
Dude, first off,
And it
that's
was a cool
very
time.
sick. You got your diploma to freaking Kid A, dude?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was cool.
That nah, that's
So
actually that yeah, okay. We're giving it number two. I'm sorry. That's
I
nuts.
told you,
That's
I told you,
actually
I kicked the bends out. Thanks for bending.
nah, just like that's actually crazy special time. I mean, because they came off of OK Computer, one of the most wildly revered albums ever. For them to go from that to Kid A, and that was like during the time of you getting out of high school and starting your life. Oh my god,
Yeah, it's a cool band.
insane timing. I mean, wow, chef's kiss.
But we do have a total census on this pod that OK Computer's number one. I have fully agreed, and we really went hardcore at that debate. That was a fun podcast that night, dude.
Dude, I have to rewatch that because I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I took like I deep down I took offense like because I go to war for Kid A. I mean not Kid A. I go to war for OK Computer. Like that album really understands. I mean I hate to say it, but there's like a there's these people who when they that think that they're just above the status quo. Like they just think, oh, what's going on right now? All this technological advances and all these people becoming this and all these people doing that. Like there really is a lot of people that just think that they are truly above. I mean, and you can be above that, but it's like I like how the album is Tom saying, "Oh, I don't like this." I mean, Paranoid Android is him going to a bar and just being in disgust of what goes down in a bar. But then towards the end, and even in a lot of the beginning, but really solidified at the end, he realizes that just him honestly throughout the album, he's realizing that even though he can, even though he has this taste for all this stuff, just work with it. Just work with it because that's what it is. You're just gonna have to be friends with. Hey, an airbag can save your freaking life. I mean, yes, technological advances are going a million miles an hour. You don't have to go that fast. You can slow the hell down and realize there are still, old school flowers growing out of the ground. You can still smell them roses. It's really one of those wake up calls sometimes. I don't know. I can go on about OK Computer. I love the album so much, and I'm so glad we can agree that that's number one.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I watched something on Dave Grohl, and he was talking about the biggest inspiration of his entire life was OK Computer, and I was like, yeah, right.
Really, Dave Grohl?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, that's
It,
sick.
it, it, it really helped him get into the Foo Fighters and what he was doing there. So, all right. Any last words for anybody on Radiohead other than Tom York?
I'll
Thank you.
say, since you name dropped Dave Grohl, I'll even say Jack Black. He said that he really appreciated what OK Computer done, but he said the Bends that album is the one because it truly freaking rocks. Like that rock energy is unmatched throughout their discography, and that energy really does it for him. And I honestly respect that, Dave, because I mean, God, who doesn't love Jack Black?
But
And
if we're drafting musicians in a startup draft, I don't think we draft Jack Black, and I definitely know we draft Grohl. So
oh, okay, well,
yeah, so I'm taking him.
dang, that's
I
like a
think
homer
he's
pick, I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
hear
more
you.
gospel, but I'll close with this on Radiohead. So Tom York is doing the score for this new Italian film out there. This film isn't even in English, and I'm gonna go see it because he does the movie music from start to finish, and it sounds incredible. So I'm gonna go see it for the music. And the other side of it is, anyone ever watches this, you'll see this 007 out here. You know
Oh,
what? This is the first time in my life I ain't hyping James Bond because you know what? You did our boy Tom York at Radiohead wrong. Spectre, their song should have been the song for you over what Sam Smith or
it shows
whatever.
Sam Smith, which is so crazy to me because I mean, like, I give Sam Mendes respect for, and even anybody respect for even considering Radiohead to do anything to your music. I mean, freaking the Twilight films, they recruited Tom York to make a song for their movie, and that's a tween movie, but freaking the Tom York song for that Hearing Damage is fantastic. Anyways, the fact that Sam Mendes even considered Radiohead, they even made a song, and you choose to go with Sam Mendes, man, fuck James Bond. I can't believe that.
That's
I
all I'm
can't.
saying.
That
Shame
is
on James
crazy.
Bond franchise for that. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your time. So here's the deal. We got finishing up that mock draft. We got rounds 3 and 4. We're going to do probably some combine next week, talk some good stuff on that. But
Okay.
Smitty, I choose the debates a lot. What are we debating at the end next week? We doing music, movies? What do you want to do? You pick. I'm in. I don't care what it is.
Okay, you know what? We talked about Radiohead. I don't want to leave that world because I never want to leave that world. So I want us to check out The Smile, which is the Radiohead sister band, which is the band that half of the members decided to make during the pandemic because half of them wanted to keep making music while the others didn't. And so the Radiohead story continues. So next week there's two albums. There's one that came out a month ago, which I'm not going to get into that yet. We can talk about it next week. And then there's one that came out in 2022. So I just wanted to talk about those two albums. You know, just keep the Radiohead going, man. I don't know. We in my bag now. I love this.
I am pumped to learn a new band.
Oh,
I
are
got
you really?
homework to do, and nothing more I love in this world than a cool band. By the way, a band I've been digging lately, that I don't know, I heard somebody talking about a documentary is Cigarettes After Sex. Check out the band, dude. They're dope. They're cool.
Dude, how
It's
about this?
dude,
How
it's
about this?
chill.
We'll do them next. We'll do them next because I like getting recommendations. Like I think that's like
Yeah.
that's one of the best things a human can do is recommend this music that's actually good. So yeah, like wow, let's do them next. How about that?
Hell yeah, dude. It's weird, chill. It's awesome. All right, guys. Thank you. You got the draft or the debate next week. Cheers. Appreciate all your time.